school closures. Esther McVeigh.
Thank you, Dame Angela, and I too would like to congratulate you on becoming a Dame. I'd like to congratulate too the Honourable Member for Warwick and Leamington for securing this really important debate here today in Westminster Hall. Now, if 1870 is remembered as the start of universal education and 1944 for secondary education for all, then 2021 must be remembered as the year that online standards for education are set. For if schools are to be closed and pupils to be at home, then pupils need to have devices on which they get their lessons, a reliable network coverage through which schooling can be delivered, and also a secure platform. We also need to have a set curriculum, and there needs to be oversight and support for those pupils, and also a structured feedback loop of pupils to teachers. And if those standards are not set, then this generation of political leaders and educationalists will be failing to live up to not only the laws of the land, but the educational path that this country has set for its children for over 150 years. You can't have lockdowns and school closures and no full-time alternatives at the ready. Now, the government have taken steps. We've got laptops going to pupils, there is guidance in place, and there are independent educational providers now coming forward, whether that's Oak Academy, BrainPop, Creative Bug, and the BBC has stepped forward. But there is not a comprehensive system in place. A survey that was conducted in the last week by Sutton Trust has said and reported today in the papers that only 1 in 10 teachers feel that their pupils have got adequate access to laptops, and a similar percentage adequate access to the internet. So we've got a falling in standard and a division in provision. The National Foundation for Educational Research found the average learning lost was 3 months for all pupils, but that in the most deprived areas, more than 50% of pupils had lost 4 months or more. They also said that whilst just 1% of pupils in the wealthiest areas were estimated to have lost 6 months in effective learning due to lockdown, in the poorest areas, more than 10 times as many have been badly affected. Now, if we all believe in social mobility, and I certainly do, then this is not good enough. We need to act to support our pupils, and we need to act at pace. Education is the great equaliser. We've got to adapt, and we've got to adapt quickly. And I say that because when I look at how businesses have adapted to catering for their customers and upgrading capability, they've had online demand increase by over 100% in retail, over 100% on video online subscriptions, and things like Microsoft Teams have now adapted and grown from 20 million users in November 2019 to now 115 million daily active users in October 2020. So if businesses can develop and adapt and meet the needs, then schools must do exactly the same thing, and they must react with speed to give the pupils the education that they need. Because like it or not, online education is here to stay. And once developed, it could become an exceptional resource with wider uses, like allowing children to catch up at home if they've been ill, or to help cater now for the 60,000 pupils who are taught at home. And that's leapt up by 13% in the year 2018 to 19. And it could even support pupils who have an exceptional capability in a subject to surge ahead. So where do we begin? We've got to get teachers and unions and Ofsted and government to come together to set out that standard. Because if unions and teachers and local councils are arguing for pupils not to return to school, and with the government's announcement of a third national lockdown, then they must come together to provide for a full, accessible, online curriculum, because there is joint responsibility there. Therefore, joint action needs to come there. And government too needs to reinstate its manifesto pledge of 1 gigabit capability to everyone by 2025, so pupils, irrespective of where they live, are able to get a proper online connection. Now, in 1969, the Open University was created to give open access to higher education, increase social mobility and support the economy. Well, we need a similar game-changing moment now in online education where we could become a global leader. The Open University now qualifies as one of the world's largest universities and has a $3 billion benefit to the UK economy. Well, it's time we took a leap forward in online education, and 2021 needs to be the year that that happens. So I would like to ask the Minister if he will meet with myself and my blue-collar Conservative colleagues to set out this new online curriculum that needs to happen, this online connection and these devices that need to be given, to make sure that we do make sure social mobility happens and that we do have an education fit for all.